Assalamu alaikum. Be seated, please. Imam Sahib, may I come and sit next to me here, please? Have you finished with all the preliminaries and things? Okay. Shuru kare?
Assalamu alaikum, Hazur. The first questioner is Mr. David Coombs from Tooting of World Federation of Peace.
My greetings to you.
How do you do?
The question I would like to ask is, does the Ahmadiyya community favor interfaith dialogue and activity? And secondly, if so, what does it believe can be accomplished by such dialogue and activity?
Thank you. In fact, it is the Ahmadiyya community which took a pioneer move in this direction long ago. Close to the turn of the century, it was first invitation issued by Jamaat Ahmadiyya to all faiths for an interfaith dialogue. In fact, it happened even before that. In 1896, the first conference of interfaith which was held in Lahore was at the initiation of the founder of the Ahmadiyya community, Hadhrat Mirza Tahir Ahmed. And the conditions laid down for this participation were very fair, and a new chapter was in fact opened in this direction. Every speaker representing any faith was required to speak on behalf of his scriptures, should not attribute things from himself, and whatever he wants to say should be in praise of his faith, not in critical appreciation of others' faiths. He should say whatever he may please, but with an open mind and always with a reference to his own basic scriptures, and bring to light the good points so that others may understand from the mouth of those who believe in something, or what value they have in their mind and what role it can play in the world peace and so on. This was taken up later on by the second head of the Ahmadiyya community, who also happened to be my late father. He started a new series of interfaith talks. We called it Jalsa-e Mazahib. And in that, repeatedly all over India, such conferences were held under the same conditions. And they became very popular because many a misunderstanding was removed, and more than that, attitudes were rectified. Instead of the mad debates of the previous era, where everybody went for the skin of the other, everybody projected himself as belonging to a faith which was honorable, which was good for mankind, and so on. So in rectification of attitudes, such efforts are known to be fruitful. But beyond that, whether it will really change the face of the earth and will be able to establish peace, I have my doubts. Because this type of religious leadership, which participates in such conferences, has no hold on the masses of those religions they represent. And whatever decent attitude they display in such conferences, as far as the common men belonging to the faith are concerned, they are most often controlled and influenced by the zealots or zealots of the faith. And they don't like such reconciliations because they thrive on hatred, not on love. So the more hatred there is felt in the hearts of followers of one faith against the faiths of the others, more popular such leaders become. So how to emancipate, how to liberate the common people from the clutches of these vultures. I hope you won't mind my strong word vultures, but vultures it is which comes to my mind because there is no other better descriptive word. They thrive on carrion, human carrion. And it's very unfortunate that they do it in the name of God, in the name of their holy founders and prophets, etc., because they present a very sorry picture of religion as such, and they themselves are responsible for bringing bad name to their religion and their leaders. So if interfaith leadership also has some dialogue with the leadership which is really in command, then of course, hopefully, some better attitudes may result from that, reformed attitudes. The second thing is that the peace is far more related to the political attitudes rather than the religious attitudes. More often than not, it is religion which is exploited by politicians. And wherever religion has been found to play any negative role in the world affairs, it has never been able to do it without politics. First, they command sources of power at the political level, then they play havoc with the peace of the world. So, what to do about them? This requires much more than just some dialogues held at the level that you're talking about, in some peaceful atmosphere like this hall, etc., because these things do not make a dent upon the political thinking at all. So it is at best an academic luxury. Yet it is enjoyable to talk good and listen good is very good. Thank you.
Hazur, second questioner is Mr. Rado Torka. He is from former Yugoslavia, at present with BBC World Service. Mr. Torka.
MashaAllah.
Your Grace, I have great admiration for your community. Now, I have a very simple question, perhaps as old as mankind. Now, there are, say, 5 billion people in the world and many different beliefs. Now, how can one know that there is God and just one God at that?
Good. It's very important, fundamental question, and as you said, it's time old. Because as the religion relates its own history, the denial began to appear at the very start of religion. The world was always divided into two, believers and non-believers. So it's a time-old question, but it is asked in relation to the present perspective. In the sense, as I understand, that now the world has advanced to a degree where man thinks he has command of nature. He can mold nature as he pleases by understanding it and harnessing it. And when that happens, then an arrogance automatically evolves from this. And that arrogance has been responsible for the spread of atheism in all the seats of knowledge, particularly in the West, but following that also in the East, everywhere. And that is why secularism is no longer an attitude of absolute neutrality. It has become an attitude of